Welcome back to Train Revival. Today we got a Lionel 2026. These are a dime a dozen. Everyone's got a 2026. This is an early one with the two-wheel rear truck. The nicer of the two. I've actually got one of these already. And I also got a 2037, the same engine. It's in good shape. Most of it's there. It's missing a front truck and a couple connecting rods. It'll run without those, but I might have them. We'll see where this goes. It doesn't run now. But I'm going to get it running. These are pretty reliable. Like I said, I got a 2026 and I have a 2037, same engine. And I've been in and out of these 100 times. So this should be a piece of cake. The only thing that scares me a little bit is there's a red wire here that's been melted a little bit. Well, hold on, let me check my Bible. Maybe it'll say when this particular one was made, but I know it's late 40s. Okay, so this is a 1949 2026, because the next year in 50, it would have been magnet traction 264, which would be a 2036. I got a 2025, which is the K4. I have a Berkshire that needs to be on this bench. I have a 665 Baby Hudson that needs to go on this bench. And some other stuff. So let me know what you want to see next, but it's probably going to be the 2025 next. And unless y'all en masse say, we want to see the Berkshire now, Nate. And I say, okay, fine, give me a minute. Let me record a video first. This doesn't really... Oh, it's the headlight. Oh, no wonder the light didn't work. It's not even wired. I can fix it. And I have a lot of extra bulbs, so I can get it to work. These are not correct screws. I might have correct screws, but I mean, if they're in there, they're in there. If it runs, I'll clean it up, you know, just like the last episode. If you haven't seen that video, I did a 16-15 switcher post-war in the last episode. And if you have one, or if you're interested in that, go watch that video after this one. I got that one running, so I assume I'll get this one running too. That 16-15 really didn't fight me. Really just came back around really quick, so I'm sure this one will do the same, right? Oh, is that another free passenger in there? We're a little bit rusty. And we got a passenger in there. A cobweb. There it goes. Okay, that's out. Oh, she's rusty. I'll clean that up. Now I got a screw on the top. And then she's apart. When's the last time this thing came apart? Never. Oh, you know what? I bet that red wire is the headlight wire, and it came off and they just taped it back because they didn't feel like, because whatever redneck was in here last didn't want to put her back on. Now it's going to come apart. No, it's not. Now what? That? Oh my god, that was some short circuit if all that got in there like that. Oh, there we go. Whew. Oh my, look at that professional craftsmanship there. Oh my god, you're gonna burn the freaking house down. I mean, I know soldering is hard, but Jesus. We're missing some parts. Look how corroded this smoke unit is. What did you put in that thing? Did you put water in there? Did you put water in that smoke unit, buddy? I know it's a smoke unit, but you gotta use smoke fluid, okay? Oh, you got the wire coming off the... This is disgusting, dude. Whoever did... Was I working on this? I must have already worked on this, because holy crap, this is terrible. I make some pretty bad solder joints, but this is topping me. And if I get it running, I'll show you how you can rebuild the smoke unit at home without the whole kit to do it. They sell kits to do it, but I'm cheap. You're cheap, so I'll show you how you do it at home. It's just filthy. Yeah, if you want to see an easy one to revive, watch the old video, the last one. This is not going to be so nice. I just hope that E-unit's going to do E-unit things, the transmission unit. Yeah, this one's bad, guys. This one's rough. Okay, Nate, stop talking about it. Fix the damn thing. We got Heritage and a dirty as heck commutator. Look at that mother thing. I've seen worse. I've seen worse. But it is. No wonder it didn't run. Yeah. So yeah, I'll clean it up. And I'll clean it up, then we'll take it downstairs and test it after our cleaning just to see if it runs. Because one thing has to happen first, okay? One thing after another. It has to run first before you... If it doesn't run, there's no sense in fixing the smoke unit. So it has to run, and then we'll fix the smoke unit, and then we'll clean it up, and then we'll do this and do that, alright? So one thing at a time. So start, Editor Nate, start the time lapse of me cleaning and oiling this, what's left of it. Never ever want to get steel wool anywhere near these motors. You want to be careful here because you don't want to break those wires. Those wires are from the 40s now, so that'll really kill the vibe of working on one of these, dude. You spend all day and you're like, yeah, it's gonna run, yeah. I cleaned it up, let's go. Broken wire. Fuck. Oh, that wheel's loose. Look. See that wiggling? You can feel it. Yeah, it should not have that much play. That wheel's loose. That won't shut us down. It'll run like that. But, oh, I can probably fix it. We'll see. One thing after another. If it runs and shows signs of life, then I'll fix that wheel and I'll clean it up. Here's another Nate Pro tip. I like wet wipes. I keep them after you use them, and then once they dry out, they make good track cleaners. You just rub them on the track, it doesn't leave any residue, and it's not getting them wet because it's dry. So I like to use these to clean the track, and if it's really bad, I'll spill some rubbing alcohol or just use a fresh one. But and plus they don't, like, you're already gonna throw it out anyway. So that's just what I find. That's what I like. I like these. Alright, I'm not even going to put the shell on. Let's take it downstairs and see what it does on the track, and that'll tell us where we need to go. Alright, before we go any farther, it has to show me that it has a chance. Well, folks, it looks like I'm digging into an E unit. Now, the E unit, or the electronic reversal unit, is something that you don't, if it works, you don't touch it. If your E unit doesn't work, you're underwater, and you ain't got no pool floaties on. So, she's not dead, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying You don't get into the E unit if you can help it. But it looks like in today's episode, I have the pleasure of getting into the E unit. And it's something that you really don't touch it because there's so much that can go wrong. But I did happen to glance at, if you know what I'm talking about, the drum of the E unit was just filthy. So hopefully that's just it. You don't open up the E unit if you can help it. This is the transmission of your engine. And with no transmission, you can't even set it in forward. I mean, with no transmission, she won't go. It is filthy and it is gross looking. So that's probably our culprit. Oh yeah, it's dirty. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. This little thing here, this is called the claw. And this here is the drum, because it looks like a drum, right? So all it does is when you apply power, the claw will pull the drum and rotate it to the next position, and each position is either forward, neutral, or reverse. So if this drum is dirty, you don't have forward, nor do you have reverse. You just have 3 neutrals, okay? And it's kind of sticky. It's like sticky old grease sticky. So I'm going to clean it up, and I'll throw it downstairs on the track again. There are also fingers. Oh god, wait, I just realized it's dented. It could be the fingers. You have to be very, very gentle when you're working on an E unit, because if you break that sucker, you're out of business. And you gotta replace it. They're like $40 or something. Yeah, look, it's just black. It's caked. Yeah, it could be it. Another part about E units is you don't oil them. Because oil, so I'm told, just makes them perform worse over time. It was clicking though, it was working. So it's just gotta be dirty contacts, or it needs new fingers. If it needs new fingers, you just throw the whole thing away. You're done. All the fingers, I can see them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they look like fingers, but it looks like this in there. Like 4 fingers. And these touch the drum. And I'm not going to go into detail on how exactly that works, but if these are bent like that, if one's not touching, then it won't run. Or if these are all filthy, it won't run. Or in some cases, they can be completely worn off. Then it also won't run. So these E units, they have a lot of things that can go wrong in them. So if it dies on you, the E unit, then you're done. You need a new E unit, but then at that point, if your E unit's done, how do you know the motor's gonna run? So might as well just start over again, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna put it together. Let's go get it downstairs on the track again and see what happens. Alright, if this doesn't run, then I'm gonna have to tear apart that whole E unit and replace that drum and check the fingers. Please give me something. Oh, short. Okay. Dang, dude. What's short now? What did I pinch? What did I do? Now I got it. That's even worse. Okay, I jiggled some wires. The short was the this wire that goes to the heater. It's not even wrapped. So here's what it'll do. It's very stiff, and it's got poor connections. But the good news is it is running. Kind of. I had to say something. Okay, I need to stop playing with it. I'm gonna go upstairs and we'll continue the restoration. That's great news. That's great news. It doesn't need a new E unit. That's like, we're in business now. So one thing at a time. Okay, so now it runs, which is great. So I'm gonna work on smoothing it out a little bit. I'm gonna clean it and oil some parts that might be the cause of it running a little bit rough. Particularly the axle, the wheel bearings in here. That's probably it. I'm gonna clean it up and oil it a little bit and try to get it to run a little bit smoother so I can break her in again. And then once we get a headlight, we'll work on getting that thing smoking. It's gotta smoke, man. You gotta have a smoker. It's a post-war Lionel. It's gotta smoke. Oh my gosh. I only did half of them and it's already a lot smoother. And yeah, we definitely have a loose wheel. And the way you can tell, grab them, Well, for the obvious sign is when you oil it and it runs a little bit, oil will start to appear right here through where the axle goes through. And then if it's oily there, then you got a loose wheel. But you can also tell if you just put your hands on it and you can kind of wiggle it. You see how that one's coming in and out? That's not supposed to do that. So, I guess I'll fix that. Way too much. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna take it downstairs, and we're gonna test it one more time before I start working on some other stuff like that wheel. That wheel's gonna take all night to dry, so I want to make sure this sucker runs. Here it goes. Hey. I know it looks kind of rough and bouncy, but some of that is because of that loose wheel. I just had it run around a little bit. It seems like a pretty healthy motor, so I'm going to go upstairs and show you how to fix that broken wheel. It's shown me what I needed to see. This thing is gonna run, so I'm gonna show you now how to glue that wheel back on. It will run like this, but you saw it was really choppy. And the puffer, it might be called the flapper actually, doesn't quite work right with the wheel loose. So I'm going to show you how to glue that thing back on here. I use JB Weld. You can get it in little tubes or an easy squeeze. You just mix this and it's a super tough epoxy glue sort of thing. So that's what I use. But the thing is, I'm gonna say it again when I get closer to doing it, but when you do this, you only have one shot. If you're gonna use JB Weld, you got one chance, and you better do it right. So watch this carefully. You got to do it right, and I'm gonna show you how I did it because I have done it on two other locomotives. My 1946 turbine, which was a lot tighter than this, and another engine I can't remember. Oh, it was my 773. So this is difficult and it takes a while, but you can do it, and I'm going to show you the right way to do it. So first thing you need to do is to take off your drive rods, whichever side has the loose wheel. And I'm going to show you when we get there. I'll show you how to clean off the rust on here, or at least make it a little bit better. So you see here, this is the loose wheel right here. It might just come out in my hand. Yep, good. That's actually a good thing, okay? Because you have to clean this out really well. You can't even have any oil in there at all. So you gotta get all the oil out if you want this to stick. Like I said, you get one shot. So you have to do it right. You could just buy a new wheel, but look at the engine I started out with. You think I'm gonna buy a new wheel for it? No, I'm just gonna glue this one on. So I'm gonna show you how to do it right, and you will never have to touch it again. Okay, so from here on, I have the other set of wheels. This one for the one that's missing. The other one on the other side is fine. So I'm not gonna mess with that one. Yeah, I could feel it just turning the axle. So that one's fine. Just make sure that you get it lined up in place, and there's something important about quartering. I'm gonna show you how to do that. But basically, you get it in place, you get them you get the connecting rod all the way at the bottom, and you can sort of see there's the main hole for the axle. The axle sits there, and the other hole, that's for the screw that holds the drive rod in place. Okay, so we're looking at the screw that holds the drive rod. You see how it kind of looks elongated on that side? You line them all up, all of them facing downwards, so that you know that the one that's loose, that one also has to face straight downwards. That's the way I do it. So you get that, and then you rotate the wheels by hand, nice and easy. And if it doesn't rotate smooth as butter, it'll sort of, if you get it wrong, it'll bind up, and you won't be able to turn it, and you'll have to force it. If you get that, you got it wrong, go back and reset this, because even if you're one gear tooth off, that can make a big difference. So you should be able to rotate this by hand very, very freely, and I can do just that. So this one is good. I'm just gonna hold it in with my fingers so that it doesn't move. It doesn't switch. It doesn't move alignment. Well, now you need to get that axle cleaned of all grease. There can't be anything on that. It needs to be completely dry with no grease on it at all. This is rubbing alcohol. You can use a degreaser or acetone. Rubbing alcohol seems to do the trick for me though, so I haven't needed anything else. Even when gluing wheels, I haven't needed anything else. Wet wipes. You can also use wet wipes. They have a degreaser in them too. And I'm just going to kind of wiggle the axle in and out to kind of smear that alcohol in there and to get any loose oil to come out so I can clean it off. See, I'm getting some more. Because you can't have any oil in there. Especially on the tip of that axle. No oil on the tip, boys. No oil on the tip at all. Write that down. Quote that. No oil on the tip at all. I want to hear no oily tips. No oily tips in the comments, alright? I want to see that. No oily tips. Okay, now that's clean and dry. Now you gotta do the same with the inside of the wheel too. I got it off. You got it off, so you can clean inside the spokes here if you want to. I'll probably just wait and do that after I get it glued on, but you could do it now. Because once this goes on, it ain't coming back off, ever. See, look at all that. That all needs to come out. All that black stuff. That's all dried grease and wear, worn carbon deposits. That all has to come out. Because if this isn't clean, it's not going to glue right. You got one shot, so you got to give it the best chance you got. Because if you apply the glue and then it just doesn't stick, you're done. That's it. New engine. Take your time. Clean this out thoroughly. Alright, I got the wheel inside scrubbed clean. I got the tip no longer oily. I have to get all the wheels rotated to a spot where you can easily tell which way the next one's going to go on. So I have them all so that the screw hole on the wheel, the second hole, the smaller hole, that is facing me at 6 o'clock. So that is straight 6 o'clock, so this wheel has to go on at straight 6 o'clock as well. That'll make it easier for you. So now it is time to mix up some of that magical JB Weld. And you don't need a whole lot for this. In fact, you need very, very little. You need a 50-50 mix of each. As close as you can get it, and it'll turn to like a gray color. You just mix it up with a stick or a toothpick, kebab stick, whatever you got lying around. You gotta mix it right. If you don't mix it right, try again. Because if this is not 50-50 or close to it, it will not dry properly, and then you'll just have a freaking mess. Ask me how I know. So now what you do is you want to take your JB Weld, a little bit on there. No, that's too much. That's too much. Just a little bit. And you want to paint it on the top half of the side of my tip here. Just dab a little bit on there. Okay. The key is that you cannot get any on. You see the brash colored bushing there? Or bearing? You can't get that. If you get that, the wheel is going to stick and be glued shut and they will not turn. Okay? You have to just take your time. Get some on all sides. If you get some on top, that's okay. Top of the shaft is okay. And you can smear it, but you can smear it a little bit, but I wouldn't go more than about halfway down the exposed bit of the shaft. And you need to butter both sides of your bread, so this is going to be the bigger hole of the two. Just put a little bit in there. You want to have some in there, but you don't want to go way too much. So this is just a little bit in there. I'm gonna go a little bit more. And heck, if this doesn't turn out, you won't be seeing this video. So now I got some in the hole. I'm gonna take a rag and wipe off what's on top of the hole. That's not gonna do anything. In fact, rubbing alcohol is good for this. It's for getting off the extra. That's way too much. Perfect. Okay, so I got some in the hole and not a bunch on the outside of the hole. So you're gonna take the wheel, and I'm gonna stand up. So you see how these are all facing 6 o'clock towards me. It'd be 12 o'clock for you. And you're going to get it. And you're going to want to put some pressure on the bottom of the axle here. Find the shaft here. That looks like it'll do it. Okay, so now I got it right on the right angle. It's close, but you want to put it back to how it was here. And just squish her on. Yep, there you go. Perfect. That's right back where it was. And so now you won't be able to see this on camera, but let me get a stick. The gap between the wheel and the frame, you shouldn't be able to see any JB Weld in there. You should just see the brass bushing, or whatever it's made of. I don't know. Don't go spinning it or something. Take a Q-tip with just a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and clean off the top here of everything that's spilled out. And you can get real picky if you want to, so that you can see if you want to be able to see the axle, you can. This should do it. Sometimes you can also take a little bit more on the stick and pack some more on top just to try to squeeze some in there, but I don't know if it's really necessary. You got one shot here, so now I'm going to take that alcohol and Q-tip and just wipe off the top layer because it's just going to get in the way. There we go, see? We got a nice glue in there, and you can't even tell I was in there, okay? There's two more important things we have to do before we're just let this sit overnight. This next step is very, very, very important, okay? If you don't do this step, it could turn out wrong, and then don't blame me. Put your connecting rod back in place. In this case, I only have to do the outer two screws. And then while supporting the bottom wheel so that it doesn't just fall out, slowly turn it over and see if it runs over smoothly. Slowly, 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 while keeping pressure on the bottom wheel of the glued wheel. It's okay. Yeah, so I got it good here. It's not too stiff. If you got it quartered incorrectly, which means that, for example, these two wheels will be pointing one direction together, and this one will be just slightly off, then it won't rotate freely all the way around. So this is how you can tell for sure. So just support it and turn it over slowly. So that way, I got it good. This might take you another try. You might have to go and unscrew the whole connecting rod, lift that off, take the wheel off and clean up anything, and just start over. You might have to do that. That's happened to me before when I was learning how to do this. And you're gonna need a clamp or a vise to hold this in while it dries, because JB Weld, you don't want to rush it. You want to give it a fair shot. So I'm gonna get my, where is it? There it is. My tiny table vise, and open this sucker up. And then you want to put the wheels that you just worked on, these two here, inside the vise here, and just hold pressure on them. You don't want to hork them down. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just keep them tight so that it doesn't fall apart and then glue incorrectly. So even take your fingers here and spinning it around on the far side, you can tell if it's quartered incorrectly. You would know. It just wouldn't flow if it was quartered incorrectly. It wouldn't roll over right. You would know. So now I got all my wheels lined up. So you want to position it in the vise to where you can keep pressure on it but not hork it down. And then I'm going to take something and put it under here. There, that's good enough. So then you just set that over to the side and let it sit for a couple hours. I'd say 2 hours. And then I'm going to take it out, spin it over by hand, and double check that it's still quartered correctly, and then put it back in this and let it sit overnight. And that way, in the morning, you'll be good. You'll have a glued-on wheel. This is just how I've done it. Now the turbine in particular, and also the Berkshire would be bad too. This might be this is very much more difficult on those because you don't have easy access to it. But I will show you how I do that, because I have a turbine that four of the wheels are loose. So I can show you how I did it on my turbine too. It's the same process, just a little bit more finicky. So I hope that helped you. I guess this is probably going to be the end of part 1. So if it is, my name is Nate, and thank you so much for watching Train Revival. Get this piece of track out of here. Excuse me. Alright, give me something. Oh, that was dumb. But that's not quartered right. Was it not quartered right from the factory? No. Lionel's always perfect. Alright. Oh, never mind. Blooper.